What are the early signs to you that Jarnell Stokes has figured out this zone D? Maybe there's one right there.
Cue it up, cue up the tape, but that's what he did. And the good job of working for position. He got to the block, cut inside, and that's what he's got to do. Continue to move, use his strength, but get deep in the post and in the lane where he can operate best.
Ryan Gomes had a slow start, 16 of his 18 in the second half, including 5 down the stretch, but it was the facilitation of Josh Midget that got things going for LA.
But again, we come back to this end of the floor, and all eyes will be on Jarnell Stokes and how he can immediately make an impact in this game. He'll still look to facilitate, but he's got to look to score as well.
Nearly a triple team came to Stokes as it's rotated to Jabril Trawick. And that's it with LA. This is the job he wanted, and now he's got his squad on the brink of a championship. Stokes to Paolo. Good block by Gomes underneath, but it stays with the Skyforce.
Excellent possession for Dew, sending an extra player in Vanderblue at Stokes. He finds Paolo under the basket, but again, the defense still quick enough to collapse and recover.
Magruder catch and shoot. Battle for the rebound. It comes to Stokes, who follows up his own miss. Justin Harper had back-to-back 21-point performances, misses his first look. Skyforce off to the races.
Beautiful break. The open court is where especially for a player like Stokes. We didn't see him make plays like that yesterday. He wasn't as aggressive. He was looking to pass off. I like the way that he's got his mindset on getting to the hoop early on.
First 2 games, it was LA that got off to a great start. Here in the decisive Game 3, it's Sioux Falls up 8-0 with Jarnell Stokes having 6 points. Magruder got fouled.
He's been spectacular in what he's been able to do. Known for his defensive ability, but offensively. He's a 3-and-D guy, can hit a 3-pointer, but now he's been in more of attack mode, averaging just about 6 more free throw attempts per game during these playoffs.
Second-year pro out of Kansas State. Ryan Gomes can't hit off glass. Sioux Falls in the form of DeAndre Liggins running. Back of the iron on a 3. Sioux Falls with the decided rebounding advantage in this series. Midget, though, with a steal, led the Game 2.
And they really haven't figured out a way to stop Vanderblue. We saw Magruder start out on Vander in Game 1 and Game 2. Now they're trying Liggins to see what he can do to slow him down.
Ryan Gomes over Jarnell Stokes.
And it goes without saying, at this point in the ball game, given the depth of the Skyforce, you got to make sure that you cut into this lead and don't let Sioux Falls gain confidence and get a comfortable lead to be able to use their bench to their advantage.
Casey Owens does not call an early timeout. Allows his team to try to dig out of that 10-0 hole on their own. Harper in the corner, drains it. Area.
And when Stokes is so deep, it's hard to throw those traps and throws those extra bodies on him, and he's had his way early on.
We see the finished product, but how important is the location of the catch for Stokes?
Huge, huge. I mean,
Stokes, baseline drive, spins and scores.
I tell you what,
He'll take Stokes to the rim, but missed the layup. Collapsing D by Sioux Falls leads to the transition opportunity. Magruder to Liggins. Now it's Paolo on the crossover, gets underneath. Offensive rebounds, an elite offensive rebounding guard is the way that Casey Owens, the LA head coach, describes Rodney Magruder. Good hands by Vanderblue. Shields off Trawick. Gets it back and puts it in.
Good finish too.
No good from 3. Good box out of Stokes by Harper for the rebounds. Gomes to Andre Ingram. In and out from 3. Game notes. I thought only the media reads that.
Put a suit on him, you'd think he was calling the game.
I think we got to be careful.
Yeah, that is the case with a handful of these players.
looked way too relaxed for a game 3. Whittington strokes a 3.
Carry over from what we saw last night. Stepping up, knocking down open shots. Speaking of X factors, he's the guy in the Skyforce team that brings that off the bench. How much attention defensively my teammates are going to be open, and with a team like Sioux Falls, he's got guys that can knock down those open shots.
Into Stokes, there comes Blue again. Ball movement to Magruder. Rebounded there by Michael Holyfield, came off the bench in game 2 with 8 big rebounds. LA needs some type of production from their bench. The Jet driving against Stokes, just throws one up and gets the roll.
A little English on that one, but what a finish by Majet. And I like the aggressiveness, taking it to the basket when there was no real other options on that play.
Paulo drives to the rim, draws the attention, and Stokes on the weak side sticks it back. Transition here for Sioux Falls, but it's stopped by Majet. Stepping into a 3. Long rebound to Magruder. The lead is 8 for Sioux Falls. Their biggest advantage in that game 2 loss was just 6. Late whistle.
Like an MVP here tonight, and we talked about the way the defenders mixed up the looks in the defensive just energy they brought towards him in game 2, but Stokes is doing the same thing at them offensively, mixing up the looks, the way that he's attacking the basket, and how he's moving and creating buckets for himself and also for his teammates.
Vander Blue is getting the mismatch against Stokes, just can't take advantage. Kick out Whittington, and Michael Holyfield. Larry Drew II is checked in for Sioux Falls. So too as Torrey Murray. This is Drew, off target from 3. Usually Andre Ingram is an early sub or comes off the floor early in the first quarter, but Speedy Smith unavailable tonight for LA in the backcourt. A right wrist injury that has him out.
All things happen for a reason. I'm just going to stay positive. 4 to 6 weeks for him. He said try and get back and be ready for when Summer League rolls around.
90 seconds to go. DeAndre Liggins just throws it up. Whittington to Keith Benson. A bit of a hitch in his shot as he misses. The Jet open for 3. Well beyond the line and left it short. Torrey Murray without numbers, pushing to Liggins, slithers inside, and it was caught on the baseline.
Being down only 5 points towards the end of this first quarter, having shot under 30% from the field so far, certainly haven't played their best, and still be within reach of this Sioux Falls team that came out of the gate so quickly.
And they trailed 10-0 early. During over in game 2 just 9 times, part of their success in their must-win victory. Murray drives in, bodies up against Holyfield and flips it in.
And how good was Murray? Last night he came in an offensive spark from the bench. He hit some very timely 3-pointers and showed just the veteran presence that he could bring for this team.
The Jet drives to the rim and lays it in. Just relentless on the penetration for Josh Majet. Back to a 5-point game.
The more Josh Majet does that, finds some baskets at the hoop, hopefully it will open up the floor for guys like Ryan Gomes or when Andre Ingram is in the game to knock down some open perimeter shots as well.
Step back Drew at the end of the shot clock. Just 3 seconds left. Gomes fires. No good. Josh Majet rimmed out on a 3.
Defenders 17 points, tying their season low for first quarter points. They said the random basketball is
collected by Sioux Falls. Craig Winnington drives baseline, sees the double team, and LA forces the turnover.
Excellent help there by Holyfield.
Harper clogged up.
They lead the league in fewest turnovers. They don't have many unforced ones like that.
You mentioned how difficult LA thought it would be to beat Sioux Falls in back-to-back games. Only once this entire season did Sioux Falls lose consecutive contests at home.
Well, and they had, prior to last night, they had lost here at home in close to 3 months.
Craig Winnington for 2.
And Winnington from the three-point line certainly was a factor there in game 2 of this production, and what we had seen, 17 points for him.
Vander Blue now just 1 of 6 from the field, looking for a call.
Going hard to the hoop, and Blue with just 2 points so far in this game, but he's a guy who likes to play downhill attack mode, and he's going to need to get something going for this defenders team if they want to hang in.
Leggett blocked by Benson, gets it back though. The low feed to Holyfield is knocked out of bounds by Sioux Falls.
Disjointed play.
The regular season games. Justin Hawkins is checked in for LA. Returned to the lineup in game 2 after missing 3 straight playoff games. It's a trifecta for Josh Leggett and back to a 5-point game.
You see the mismatch there. Murray was on Harper, but Leggett shooting over Benson. Critical basket.
Whittington catch and shoot, rebound down to Leggett. Cross court for Blue. Good hands by Whittington. Up ahead, Magruder. And the foul called on.
Job done defensively. We asked him, what's been the difference? What's changed? He said, I don't think anything has changed at all. I don't think there's a difference. And that's the type of attitude and mindset because he plays within the context of the offense.
It'll stay.
Can do what Magruder can do. Benson inside.
Ingram after his own miss. And the 6'4" Ingram sticks it back with one hand.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Go, boys.
Magruder is open. Missing from 3.
Communication ball out of Stokes' hands in position at the block to score, but it's different looks, it's mixing things up.
Justin Harper, no good from 3. On the reload, it's Hawkins. A third opportunity for Vander Blue. That got left short.
And you can't say it about every miss, but you got to start to wonder. Vander Blue, Josh Leggett both played 48 minutes last night. Does that affect their legs, as we see can do, that makes him so good as a distributor? And of course, Justin Harper, a guy they have such great chemistry feeding off of his teammates.
Stokes finds the cutting Magruder. Game 6, that heroic performance where LeBron would just not come off the floor as motivation for Vander. Off the block, numbers for the defenders. Harper driving against Stokes and lays it in.
I like to see that Harper getting involved, what he can do, get to the basket. Maybe Vander Blue try and get going. He led the league in free throw attempts, maybe seeing a couple of those go in, adding points on the board. Anytime you're a scorer, you see the ball go through the hoop, it adds to your feel, your flow, your rhythm of a ball game.
Nearly midway through the second quarter. Torrey Murray falling back, missing the shot. Blue wants to run without numbers. Ingram from the elbow, in and out.
We got a lot of refs in the stands.
Sure do. Another packed house here in Sioux Falls.
It's been an awesome environment. The atmosphere, the arena. This is a very educated basketball town. Dan Casey and Casey Owens have both said, or Dan Craig, I should say.
Back in 2012, the last time a finals went to 3 games, the defenders lost to the Austin Toros. Liggins fires from 3 and connects. Make it
on average, but 45 minutes last night. It's not going to be easy for this starting 5 for Los Angeles in the back-to-back, but they're ready to empty the tank.
And the trend continues tonight for LA.
That these LA players have said we're used to it. It's how we played in the playoffs. Lost some teammates to injury. But they said, what more do you want? An opportunity to play for a championship? You don't want to come off the floor.
Torrey Murray left a 3 short. Jarnell Stokes battling for the rebounds. Played just a total of 2 minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals, did Spikes. Whittington attempts to thread a pass. That's kicked out of bounds.
The Skyforce, they're going to a zone. They've been trapping. They've been showing some double teams. But they got to make sure that they continue to pack it in the paint, because the Skyforce produce best when they get the ball inside, like they did right there.
Spikes to
is wide open. You like your matchup if Vanderbilt can take it at a player like Nigel Spikes.
a low-scoring first half. Who does that favor?
I mean, I think it favors the Skyforce, because that's how they want to play. They want to play more in the half court. They're defensive-minded. If they can keep LA off the scoreboard and not let them. It did, but you talk to anyone around the organization, the league, they said their work ethic is so similar, their demeanor, the manner in which they communicate and articulate to players. And Dad Craig said he loves the opportunity to not only coach teams, but just how to manage staff, how to delegate tasks.
The shot of him, the LA job opened up because Connor Henry, who was supposed to be the head coach of the Defenders this season, earned a job as an assistant with the Orlando Magic. It's not just the players, but the coaches also looking for that call-up. DJ Schumpert with a good block of Spikes. And while Sioux Falls
with one another, an impressive group, but it does start with KCO, as I think we've seen it in practices, speaking with him, the attitude that he brings.
Air ball at the end of the shot clock.
Because the way the Skyforce team plays, wanting to slow things down to a half-court game.
Paulo uses the screen. Murray pump fakes from a 3. Spikes keeps it alive. Three-quarters of a minute to go in the first. Torrey Murray. LA to hold for 1. The Jet with Harper. It's skipped to the corner for Ingram. Just throws one up, and he'll go to the line. This first half, not bad for the 30-year-old who was inserted into the starting lineup late in the season with the injury to Justin Hawkins. And as you mentioned, Sarah, a lot of these players taking pride in the fact that they're almost the last one standing. Andre Ingram rattles one in. 7-point game. 2 seconds to go. Liggins to Paulo. Beat the buzzer, but it's off the iron, no good. Back in 2014 for Oklahoma City, had a couple of stints overseas, and he thought this year his best option would be to play in the D-League. He joined LA in January and earned the Impact Player of the Year award for the D-League.
You can't ask for much more out of Ryan Gomes, and he said, I didn't want people and want myself to say, whatever happened to Ryan Gomes? Does he have anything left? He said, I wanted to leave the game on my own terms, and certainly not to say that this is the last year that he will be playing, but he put on a show for the D-League and for plenty to see during these playoffs. Fight till the end, because we have seen that throughout the playoffs. Impressive in just their grittiness and the moxie that they bring to the floor.
DJ Schumpert taking the place of Ryan Gomes to start the third quarter. Justin Harper with a weak side block. And the shot clock expires. Of
the D-League, and also just a player maturing in understanding maybe where his career is at, what's left for him. And that's what he said. It was being older, it was being more mature, and it was making a decision during the first round and then in the finals against Austin. And just 2 points here tonight, a big piece missing for the Los Angeles team that relies so heavily on their starters.
The path to the championship for Sioux Falls has just opened up in a big way as Jarnell Stokes scores from the outside. His first bucket of these finals, not in the paint.
And you don't want to overlook Stokes and what he's trying to show in terms of extending his offense and improving his outside shot. It's going to be one of the biggest factors if he can be an NBA player.
Rebounded by Harper. Six on the timer. Majette out to Harper. Weak side rebound, Stokes. On the floor with 3 fouls. Magruder, Liggins, Trolick, Stokes, and Paulo. Shumpert rebounds, playing in the front court with Harper, Ingram, Blue, and Majette, the rest of the 5. Paulo, crossover against Majette.
We're done with it. We've had 1 goal throughout these playoffs, and these guys need to understand the moment that's at stake.
Inside to Trolick. Could not close the deal in 3 games. Sioux Falls broke that record this season with 40 regular season wins, and now they're trying to take down LA for the title.
And a turnover there, but it's been a core of guys with the Skyforce team that it has created the depth that we see, but also the understanding of the offense, what Dan Craig is trying to run systematically, both defensively and offensively, and they executed so very well.
Collected by Sioux Falls. Jabril Trolick on the move. Liggins out to Trolick. Stokes from the outside.
Once again, it's that outside shot that he emphasized to us he's been working on, he's been improving, wants to show that he has more of just an inside game and that he could knock down that face-up 15-footer. And that's gonna be the biggest aspect that NBA scouts and GMs, coaches are gonna look at. Can he do more to pull defenders out, not only hit that outside shot, but also create more for himself inside because of it.
Makes the kick out to Paulo, and it lipped out. Blue wraparound pass. Holyfield puts it on the deck, missing the layup. Extra pass to Ingram, leans in for 2. And the tough shooting evening for LA continues here into the 3rd quarter.
You can't say it enough. You got to wonder how those minutes, the type of minutes these starters have played, not just during these final series, but the entire postseason has begun to wear on them.
Stokes with the mismatch against Blue, just shoots right over the top and connects. Of the D-League season, we're seeing a complete game for Jarnell Stokes.
It is, and he said that he came in to this year understanding the type of development he needs. He said, I didn't have that mindset my rookie year, but now I'm starting to learn habits. Nice little pass from Trolick to Paulo, but I'm starting to size. Obviously, he brings a strength. He throws his body around. He goes after it on the boards. But the knock against him is his size, and it's not just that, because he can play in the league at that size with his strength, but he needs to develop that outside game, and it looks like he's starting to do that.
Pins Vander Blue.
2. But at this point, it's an uphill climb for this LA team, given their numbers.
Trolick, a 3.
This group of 5 guys in the rotation, you need to be most effective throughout games, and Craig has done an impressive job with that.
Stokes against Majette. Takes the smaller defender to the basket.
He's got to be out to prove something. Prove that he not only is MVP of the D-League, but what's going to happen to him this offseason in the summer and trying to get himself on an NBA roster.
10 of 12 from the fields, and the 3 jump shots he hit in this third quarter, the only 3 field goals of the finals to come outside of the paint. Paolo goes high for the lay-in.
And for a guy like Stokes, you know, creating your niche offensively, but also working on your game defensively, defending the pick and roll. Can he be a guy in the NBA that has the type of movement and foot skill to play inside, play a stretch 4?
Whittington leads the break. Throws one up, no. Redirected to Harper of LA.
And it is a trickle-down effect. We can talk player to player on the Skyforce team. There's so much talent as we see Liggins drain the 3 on the other end.
20-point lead for Sioux Falls. Ingram lost the dribble. Here's Magruder. Kick out Liggins, wants another 3. In and out. Up ahead to Blue. Euro step in the lane and the foul. Well, Josh Majette has earned the attention of this Skyforce crowd. Skip to Liggins.
You can't get a better contest than that. Josh Majette running at Liggins as Liggins from deep still drains it.
Second differential between game and shot clock. Shumpert sets the screen. Pull up, Vander Blue. Off the iron, no, collected with 3 seconds left. Magruder at the buzzer would not have counted. The best.
It's what Dan Craig preaches, and it's what his system requires, and each one of these players has trust in one another, as we see Whittington.
3 in the D-League Finals. Sioux Falls took game 1 on the road in LA. The Defenders won game 2 to set up this decisive game 3. The Defenders already shorthanded entering the night, lost Ryan Gomes at halftime, and Sioux Falls exploiting, using their depth to take a big-time lead here in the 4th, trying to close out the finals. Andre Ingram from the corner, and you saw it early.
A lot of credit, though, to the way this Defenders team has continued to fight.
LA with just 48 points here in the 4th quarter. A team that averages well over 100 during the regular season. Majette the miss, flying in, Shumpert denied by Whittington.
Finals, a championship, so special because of things like that, and this crowd has been spectacular in that manner.
It was early in game 1 for these 2 teams that had not seen each other during the regular season. The jarring started very early.
It didn't take long. And you wonder that because they're not familiar with one another. You're not facing up against each other during the regular season. But they knew exactly what was at stake.
Majette scores underneath, just the 49th and 50th points here for LA. Their lowest output of the postseason, 83 on the road against Austin. This #1 rated Sioux Falls defense doing a number on the Defenders. #1 during the regular season, points per game, #1. Opposition field goal percentage. Very few open looks on offense for LA. Ingram hoists up a transition 3.
Well, it's been a combination of a lot of things. One, the system and what they run defensively for Dan Craig, and the emphasis on pressure, ball pressure. As the Defensive Player of the Year.
Don't know how true that is.
Liggins, I think, was maybe Dan Craig, his bench.
Very possible. colorful characters on this team for sure.
Yes, they are.
Magruder baseline, swish. Sioux Falls with a 25-point lead against shorthanded LA. Harper fires from 3, front of the iron.
We certainly don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but we talk to both sides, but these players emphasizing just the opportunity to win a championship at the professional level. They said that's something that doesn't come along very often. They're savoring that chance. And you know, so many of their
title. LA did not. Sioux Falls trying to bring home the championship after a record regular season.
Sioux Falls just keeps pouring it on, but not a lot of answers for LA. Given the short bench they now have, and you can
that he can to keep the defenders alive. Averaging 30 points in these finals entering tonight's game 3. DeAndre Liggins with 7 on the timer. Backing down Majet, creates space, left it short. Majet after the rebound, ripped away by Stokes for the flush. Offensive foul, illegal screen by Holyfield as Majet, 23 points for Jarnell Stokes.
And Stokes had said earlier, he said, of course, my dream was to be wearing a Memphis Grizzlies jersey, a Miami Heat jersey during this season, but he said that's not in anymore. My dream, my goal right now is to win a championship. And
that effectively ended their chances to take game 3 on the road. Extra pass to Murray. Stokes the offensive rebound. Whittington opts to take more time off the clock. Trawick against Shumpert. Murray. Whittington with 7 on the timer. Works against Harper. Trawick for 3. Offensive rebound, Boo-Boo Paulo. Into the MVP. Kick out Murray. Paulo takes it, defended well by Ingram, but he knocks it off of his own man. His choice was to come back to Sioux Falls.
Is that a major factor in that? Of course, the winning and knowing that this was a place where he could continue to improve.
Vanderblue working against Benson, blows right by him and then misses the layup. Just that type of night for both sides. Paulo to Trawick and an exclamation point here in Sioux Falls. Skyforce started every single playoff game, and Sioux Falls will end the postseason with a 6-1 record. Benson the block. Blue lines up for 3, well short. Numbers for Sioux Falls. Out of bounds to LA.
Credit Sky, full job he did with his defenders team this season, and particularly throughout the postseason.
They emerged from the West as the number 4 seed, winning a pair of game 3s on the road in prior rounds. Vanderblue makes the layup, goes crashing into the crowd, and he's a bit slow to get up on the other end of the floor. He's starting to jog the other way. LA playing defense with just 4. That really jolted this Skyforce team in the third quarter to take complete control of this contest. Stokes with 25 and 12. Liggins with back-to-back double-doubles. 11 points, 10 rebounds to close out the D-League Finals. Approaching 2 minutes to go in game 3. 7 on the timer. Benson from deep. Cleared away by Shumpert. For the second time in 4 seasons, LA will fall short in the championship. For Sioux Falls, making their first appearance in the finals, and they're 2 minutes away from their first D-League title. Saved by Paulo. Wraparound pass. Looking for spikes. Numbers for LA. Ingram gets to a good spot on the floor, but
knowledge and background and experience from his time with the Miami Heat.
Final minute. Another packed crowd inside of the Sanford Pentagon, creating such a great home court advantage for the Skyforce. They wanted a title, but they also wanted to secure it